Hello one and all, I am Pal of Games here today with a deck profile of the Assault Mode Dragons. I assume that's the name I've called them, I suppose that's it's probably the best description of them. So without further ado, the deck consists of quite a monster heavy deck, but I feel that it's quite justified in what it does. I mean, it's just such an OP deck. I run one Flameville Guard, 3 Stardust Dragon Assault Modes, 1 Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, 3 Blaster, 1 Gauze, 3 Tidal, 3 Tempest, 3 Raidox, 3 Assault Beast, 2 Maxi, 3 Dragoonity Brandy Stock, 2 Effect Veiler, 1 Mind Control, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Gold Sarcophagus, 1 Foolish, 2 Tenki, 3 Dragon Ravine, and 3 Assault Mode Activate. So I'll go through the deck and how it works. I mean, I've obviously done a deck on it. I feel it's kind of consistent. You might want to change a few things in it for your own personal preference, but I think the deck how it is works quite well. So I run the Flameville Guards here because it's a nice search for Blaster, so that you're not completely reliant on the Tempest. I feel the most well, I suppose the most annoying one out of the 4 is Tidal, because I have nothing I could search into with it other than Tidal, it can be annoying sometimes, but it seems to go round the deck quite well. I run a Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon mainly because I feel it's a nice card to have when you've got quite a lame hand. You're probably in a stuck position because, say, you've just got a terrible hand. Say you draw into some Maxis, a Brandy Stock, a Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, an Assault Mode Activate, and say a Foolish. It can happen. You can get bad hands even with a good deck like this. I mean, it is obviously consistency, but there will be times when it won't go to plan. And in that situation, it makes sense to just try and get a heavy hitter out. You'll be able to soak up some attacks and stuff while you're waiting for big plays to come around. You've then got your dragons, which are pretty self-explanatory. They're there because they need to be there for the deck to work. The Gauze is there as an extra level 7. I feel it's helpful to have, and Gauze is just the best card to have just to stop any OTK stuff, because they're obviously hoping on no Gauze, so it can stop them sometimes. I feel it's helpful. So you might want to change out, say, a 7 Swords of, is it Treasures, something like that? Where you can remove a level 7 in your hand or field to draw 2. Some people might opt for that as just to make the deck a little quicker, but then you're relying on a level 7 becoming in your hand or field, which isn't too hard to do, but it can be a bit tricky. Then the Assault Beast is pretty self-explanatory, is there just to be able to get out your Assault Modes to your hand, which sort of deck thin and make the deck a little more helpful to run. Then you've got 2 Maxi, they're there just to help with draw power, and they're obviously a redox target, so they're not completely irrelevant when they're in the grave. You've then got your 3 Brandy Stock, which are going to be your search for Tempest when you don't need an extra Tempest. To be able to get out that level 8 Stardust, to be able to get into the Assault Mode, which is your main goal with the deck. You've then got Mind Control. I mean, some people would probably not want to use this and prefer loads of draw power, but I quite like it as it's there just to go, hey, I'm going to have you monster now, just go for game. Because there'll be times where they'll be able to worm around their, your Assault Mode play. They'll go, I'm going to place Dark Hole, you're going to have to negate it, obviously, and then they're going to come out with a power play. And it can be quite annoying if they do that. Then you've got 1 Dark Hole. I mean, you might not want this, but I feel it's a nice board clear if you're going second, because that's the main problem with this deck. If you're going second, it can be quite annoying, because obviously they've already got their setup. Your Assault Mode is going to be a lot harder to pull off. 1 Gold Sarcophagus, you should run this if you're running dragons. It's just a +1, why not? Foolish, be able to get some of that stuff engraved, what you need. And it's also another great deck thinner. 2 Fire Formation Tenkis to get your Assault Beast to hand. It's another way of it's like saying, hey, I've got 8 Assault Modes in my deck, in terms of how possible it is to have it in your hand, which is nice. It means that 1 in 5 chances. I mean, if you're running a 40 card deck like I am, and you're drawing 5 cards, you know, it's more than possible it's going to happen. Free ravines, obviously, they're deck thinners. They get your dragons in the grave, which you need to pull off your big combos, which is always great. And then free assault mode activate, which obviously needed to bring out assault mode. For an extra deck, I run a few level 7s, because sometimes, you know, it's worth doing. It's possible that they could come in handy sometimes. One Amadeus. How does this work, you may ask? Well, you know, I suppose it's unlikely, but I just run them just in case, you know, a scenario where, you know, you're left with an assault beast and a level 1. You know, it might happen, so it's worth doing, I suppose. 3 Stardust Dragon, they're pretty self-explanatory around the deck. 1 Thought Ruler, I find a Thought Ruler to be just so underplayed, and it should be played a lot more. 1 Colossal Fire, pretty self-explanatory himself. I mean, it's just basically a nice beat stick, as well as being quite helpful for if you're in a mirror match or something on them lines. Outside of the assault mode play, it's going to be quite tricky to get around. 1 Blackwing Dragon, you may go, what are you running a Blackwing Dragon for? But I think people really underestimate this card. It just stops a burn. If you're versing burn, they're one of the most annoying decks, and he can just sit there. They don't run destruction, obviously. You might see a player run, say, at best, maybe a Blast Sphere or a Dark Hole, maybe, but, you know, I doubt they're going to be going for destruction, more damage. And he just sits there and goes, right, you've done damage, I'm just going to put a counter on it instead of taking damage. And then you can just wipe it all off and go, boom, your card's dead. I feel it's a really good way of getting around burn. I mean, it's worth doing, you know, just 1 card saves all that hassle. Then you've got a Scrap Dragon. I feel Scrap Dragon's pretty meta there. You want to run a Scrap Dragon just because he's a big help with just taking out their stuff. Crimson Blade, obviously mirror matches are going to be a thing because it's going to be quite a popular deck, so it's worth having a Crimson Blade, or at least one, I feel, just to be able to stop any potential plays there. You may opt to take out some of these level 5s for another Crimson Blade. I mean, that's possible as a move. And then just a Red Dragon Archfiend as a beat stick, and obviously if they're running quite a defense heavy deck, sort of marshmallows and that sort of annoying stuff, then you're going to want a way around that, and he's quite a helpful way to do it. So yeah, it covers the whole deck. I mean, I haven't come up with a side, mainly because I feel if you're going for a side, you're probably going to be wanting to go for stuff like Light Imprisoning Mirrors. Just quickly get them up. So you probably want to go with them because obviously, you know, Light Swans, they're going to be a thing in the future, so might be worth putting them in just as a precaution, because they're going to obviously be the another tier 1 deck, depending on when the OCG stuff comes out. I mean, I'd guess that they'll come out sometime early next year, but it might be slightly later. It just depends, I suppose. But I would say it's probably in time for the YCS, which is the World Championship Series, in case you wondered. I've just said YCS, I meant WCS. YCS is something totally different. It's Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series. But yeah, I can't think of anything else side-wise. You can tell me in the comments what you would like to side. I mean, it's something I'll probably work on. But I think that's pretty self-explanatory deck, and I think it gives you some ideas for your own if you're playing on just net decking, I suppose, or just something along them lines. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Like if you've liked, please favourite and share, even though it's a net deck. And other than that, thanks for watching, everyone, and goodbye.